Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Today I kind of wanted to talk about those friends that you've made and, you guys were good, and the grief that, you guys are no longer friends anymore. You guys are no longer connecting as you used to. You move on from different paths instead of a fight or some sort of a fallout with your friend or whatever. But no, it's just silence. It's just quietness. It's the fact that last online 2 years ago, or like the just not talking, last message like last year or whatever the case may be, 2 years, whatever. And it may not seem like, you can complain because nothing happened. It's just that the true fact of you guys move on, you guys are different now. And it's like you can't complain, but you lost someone that deeply mattered to you and was deeply involved in your life, right? And it can feel really confusing. It can feel like, should I feel bad right now? It's like, what do I do? You know what I mean? And no fight, no closure, just distance that grew over time. And it's saddening. It's horrible. You might question what went wrong. You might, wonder what's happening, but you don't want to send that text. And it's hard, right? It is really, it can affect you. But I just want to reassure that those feelings are valid today, and that's why I'm talking about it. Growth just sometimes separates people naturally. Like, it doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean you're bad. It's just that the fact that you guys have grown up into two different people. 7 years. Every 7 years, you are a completely different person. You are nowhere near what you were. If you look 7 years back, are you really the same person, right? Maybe physically, you can notice some, attributes of that, but you are mentally way different a person. Maybe physically, right? Like, you've worked out, whatever. Maybe you gain weight, and that's fine. It doesn't mean that that previous version of yourself was horrible, right? It doesn't mean that they're less valid. It means that you just grown, and this is the current time you're living in. And the current mindset, the current opinions, the current, validations, whatever the case may be. This is who you are today. And so that person also going through those changes, right? And they may have different dislikes, likes, and are prioritizing other things. And so that's completely fine. And I feel like you should, support those both ideas, because that's what a true healthy relationship and friendship is like, right? You don't want to be faking it. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, I want to hang out. Oh yeah, I'm hanging out with this guy that I absolutely don't like, and I'm just doing it because we've been friends for 10 years or something like that. Nah, that's not the case. You gotta validate those feelings every time you guys meet. Do I truly want to meet? Do I truly think this guy is a good guy? Of course, there's nothing wrong with going through hard times or going through a bad patch of friendship. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But you gotta know that you have boundaries. You have your own life and your own priorities, and so don't break them for that friend. Don't break that personal boundary for just a friend that maybe had you back in the day, but it's different, right? They're different now, and don't rely on that the used to be version of themselves. And I feel like I've made the same thing, that where I've left a lot of people, that maybe, for example, I met at work or whatever the case may be. Doesn't mean I dislike those people. I'm just in my time that I want to be alone. I want to be on my own path in life. And so I'm prioritizing myself. Doesn't mean that I don't like them anymore. I wouldn't mind if they sent me a DM or something. I'm just not going to be the person reaching out. And so, maybe, hopefully, you guys will interact sometime in your lifetime, maybe come across each other randomly, and that will be great, because then maybe you guys are aligned in the same timeline, you guys have the same mission, and you'll get to find out all your dislikes and likes again, and maybe go back into a new, completely new dynamic of a friendship, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that silent grief. It's just sometimes it can feel hard, sometimes it can feel annoying and hurtful. And so, yeah, I want to reassure those feelings. So acknowledge this grief. Know that it's human. Know that you have your own missions, your own goals, and know that you're not being, like, soft or whatever the case may be. You are human. You are just seeing what's happening and validating those feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. And they're not doing anything wrong. That's fine, right? They may have went on to new things, and that's beautiful. That's the beautiful thing of life, is that you can choose whatever you want to do. You don't have to rely on previous interactions. You don't have to rely on your previous self. You can change and be a completely new person if you want to. It's just how you're going to act. How are you going to take those steps? How are you going to truly go into that new version of yourself, right? And so you don't, the grief will soften over time. You know, this thing will not be a forever feeling. You will find new friends, you will find new people, and you'll be so busy that, you know, you'll look back at it as a memory and not like a bad time or a part that you miss or something, right? That you can miss it. That's nothing wrong with that, but it's no longer that, right? You have to be real with yourself. Focus on the friendships that are active right now so you can appreciate those while they last, right? But yeah, like I said, just wrapping it up, fading friendships are a natural part of life, right? You can't stop them. It will happen. It's inevitable. And, you know, it's okay to mourn them quietly because it's going to happen, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to validate your feelings today. Know that you're not alone. It happens. Much love as always. I appreciate every like, comment, subscribe. All those things really help out the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to see you in the next one. And yeah, subscribe for more mental health, true mental health content. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.